Mama, all you ever do is moan at me. Sorry, everyone, I didn't realise you were there already. Mrs. Twit just on my case again. So, hopefully you had fun making your characters, and now we're going to look at our setting. That is where the story is going to be and what's going to happen in our story. So, start with, let's think about what the setting is going to be. That is not the settings of your device. That is not you deciding how loud or quiet it's going to be. That is where it is, where your story is going to be. So have a little think for me. Where do you want your story to be set? In a castle, in a dungeon, in a forest, in a school, in a library? For a little bookworm might be a good idea. Where would you like your story to be? Have a quick think for me. And then start to write down some ideas in that settings box for me, please. What it would be great if you could do is just pause the video and then you could spend some more time writing down some ideas in there. If you come up with some adjectives, that would be even more fantastic. Once you've done that, I would like you to think about what you're going to put in your introduction for your story. That is how we're going to introduce our characters and where the story starts. Okay, who is in the story to start with? Do you just have your bookworm character, or do you have a couple of the other characters that you invented? Okay, then we're going to do a build up. Now, this is a build up to the problem that we're going to have. This could be they're going for a walk one day, or they could have your little Miss Bookworm or Mr. Bookworm annoying the other characters again. Okay, and then we're going to build up to the problem. Now you need to think. This is the fun bit, okay? Me and Mrs. Twit play lots of pranks on each other. We have lots of problems because of that. Now, the problem that you could have, it might be that one of your friends steals your book and hides it. It could be that you fell over and lost your book. You left it somewhere and you can't find it. There's lots of different things that your problem could be. But it would be a good idea if you revolved it around your lovely book, because you are a bookworm. Then, after we think about our problem, we need to think of the resolution. How are we going to solve the problem? If you lost it, you could go on a search party of all of your friends to find it. If one of them stole it, you could talk them into giving it back to you and give them reasons why reading is really important. That would be a really good one. Okay. And then we think of an ending, the happily ever after ending. Okay. And the way the story mountain works is it starts everything okay, and it gradually gets worse, and then it gets better again. Okay, so it would be great if you could spend some time planning your story. Here's an example that I've got. So, the setting in a forest in Little Town. Our characters are Little Miss Bookworm, Mr. Nosy, and Little Miss Fidget. I'm sure there's a few Mr. Nosies watching me right now. Now, in the introduction, we need to introduce the main character and how he or she loves to read everywhere and anywhere. Describe that main character. Then we're going to discuss how annoying the main character is when he or she keeps reading everywhere and annoys the other characters. Then our problem. Little Miss Bookworm or Mr. Bookworm keeps annoying everyone with her reading all the time, trying to get the characters to see the joy of reading, but the other characters are not interested. The characters get into trouble, have difficulties because they can't read. Then Little Miss Bookworm helps the other characters see the importance of reading to help them in their lives. And in the end, each of the characters thank Little Miss Bookworm for helping them, and they become better readers as a result. Perfect. Well done if you've got that done. Now, what I'd like you to do before lunchtime is I would like you to write the introduction and the build-up part of your story. Okay. Now, here is mine to help you. Little Miss Bookworm adored reading all the time. She read in the bath, on the way to school, and whilst eating her dinner. All she did was read, and as a result, she was incredibly clever, often winning competitions at school. Her bedroom was jam-packed with both fiction and non-fiction texts, but her favourite of all were her space books, which she often used to tell facts about space to her friends. That's when she used to annoy them. Day after day, she would shove her books in the faces of her friends in an attempt to get them interested in books. Mr. Nosy was certainly not impressed. although he was a nosy person, he didn't want to know about space facts. Please do not tell me another fact about Mars, he would shout at little Miss Bookworm. It's so boring. Little Miss Fidget didn't want to know either. All she wanted to do was to run around all the time or bounce on a trampoline in the garden. She wasn't interested in reading any books of her any kind. If you learn to read, yelled little Miss Bookworm as little Miss Fidget continued to jump on a trampoline, you'll be able to do anything you like when you're grown up. So, there is my example. There is my introduction and build up of my story. Could you please have a go at writing your own build up and introduction? And I'll see you this afternoon in person, everybody. Have fun.